We want to determine the intercepts of the line given the equation of the line, which means we want to determine the x-intercept and the y-intercept. And we can do this by completing a special table of values. To determine the x-intercept, we're going to set y equal to 0 and solve for x. And to determine the y-intercept, we'll set x equal to 0 and solve for y. So by completing this special table of values, we can determine the intercepts. And hopefully this makes sense because if we take a look at the x-axis, every y-coordinate along the x-axis is equal to 0. And that's why to determine the x-intercept, we set y equal to 0. And then notice every point along the y-axis, the x-coordinate is equal to 0. So to determine the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0 and solve for y. Let's go ahead and do that below. Let's start by determining the x-intercept. So again, we're going to let y equal to 0 and solve for x. So if we let y equal to 0, notice how this term here would be 0. So we'd be left with 2x equals 5. And we divide both sides by 2. We have x equals 5 halves, which would be our x-intercept. So again, the x-intercept is the point 5 halves, 0. And it might also be helpful to write this as a mixed number or a decimal. 5 halves, or 5 divided by 2, would be equal to 2.5. Now we'll go ahead and determine the y-intercept. And as I said before, we're going to set x equal to 0 and solve for y. Notice if we set x equal to 0, 2x should be 0, so we'd be left with the equation negative y equals 5. And if it's helpful, we can write this as negative 1y equals 5. So to solve for y, we'll divide by negative 1. So we have y equals negative 5. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to negative 5. Therefore, the y-intercept is the point 0, negative 5. Now it is important that we don't list the x-intercept as just x equals 5 halves or 2.5 because technically that's the equation of a vertical line, and we also shouldn't list the y-intercept as just y equals negative 5 because that's an equation of a horizontal line. So we should either give the intercepts as ordered pairs or state the x-intercept equals 5 halves and the y-intercept equals negative 5. Now let's go ahead and plot the intercepts and then sketch the line. So the x-intercept is 5 halves 0, or 2.50. So the x-intercept would be here. And then the y-intercept is the point 0, negative 5, or this point here. So our line passes through these 2 points. So it would look something like this. Okay, that's going to do it for this example. I hope you found this helpful.